Scorpio, how are you? Let's do a reading for your current energy, shall we? As always, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. And I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button right there. Blink. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All that good stuff really makes a difference to my channel. And I would love to see my channel continue to grow. So help me make that happen. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Scorpios for the next 7 to 10 days. We've got the Chariot card coming in, crossed by the King of Wands. Listen, some of you guys are going to go on a trip with someone. I feel like this king is like, let's go over here. Let's do this. Listen, I don't like this king upside down, all right, because this is my player. Maybe you'll be really tempted to go, and have a weekend fling with this person or go on a little trip with them. Listen, they're not being honest here, all right? Ace of Swords. If they tell you how much they love you and this and that kind of thing, I just feel as if, they're not fully available, all right? This is somebody who talks a good talk. They're very, very charming, and they can woo you to do anything you want. But if you're okay with this being very light and casual and nothing serious, I think fine. But I just feel as if this is somebody who, could actually play you. So be careful of that, all right? You meet somebody, and he's Prince Charming. Make sure that Prince Charming is not married or has another significant other. We do have the Seven of Swords coming in here as well. We have the Ace of Swords reversed, and we have this Eight of Wands. I just feel like they can talk a good talk, and they can talk quick, and before you know it, you are, swept off your feet, and, there you go, but I just don't like their energy, right? Because I don't feel like they're very honest. I think they're after whatever it is that they can get from you, and they'll do whatever they have to do in order to achieve this. Now, we do have the High Priestess here at the root of what's going on. So your intuition is knocking at your door and telling you to pay attention to what it's saying, all right? Our intuition usually is very quiet. It kind of quietly guides us around. And when she shows up upside down, this is saying, I'm telling you, this person is like this. Believe your intuition, all right? Don't believe me. Believe what's going on, And it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go away with this guy and we're going to have this great weekend and then I'll probably never see him again. That's probably how it's going to go. All right, and here we do have the Two of Wands coming in reverse that's above you. Be very, very careful that, you don't lead with your passion rather than rationale. All right, so, because I just feel like this person, they're very suave, but they're not honest. They're not telling you the truth. They're after something that you have that they want, whether that's sex or money or, whatever. I just feel like you have to really trust yourself, all right? Because this person is very smooth and, they have a focus and a direction that they want to take. And with this, Seven of Swords coming in right next to it, this is usually a card of trying to be very clear, but he's got these swords here and these two swords here, stay grounded, all right? Because, somebody who talks a good talk can trick you and be like, gosh, man, I really believed everything that they said. I really thought this was how it was going to go. But, it's followed by this 10 of Cups here. It could do more damage than good, all right? And I just don't want you to get in trouble, all right? And I'm just feeling like, this person, they're not about you. They're about them. And here we do have the Three of, Pentacles coming in reversed. I've got the Knight of Swords coming in reversed. I mean, this is somebody who's very passive, in getting what they want. They're not going to be like, hey, let's go out here, They would kind of come under the radar, and, get what they want from a real, I don't know, a shady kind of perspective. Just be careful, all right, Scorpio? That's all I can say. Be really, really careful, because, look, there's trouble. There's trouble brewing if you, kind of get yourself involved with the wrong person, and, you're running after, somebody who isn't going to run after you. All right, be very, very careful of this energy, because this could come in the form of somebody who, wants, really to go out with you and kind of see whether or not they can, get you into bed, to somebody who is trying to take you for money. However this plays out, this person is not on the up and up. And if you know who I'm talking about, trust your intuition, all right? Now, moving on from that, there is some trouble when it comes to what I feel is work. All right. If you have been struggling this week with work, all right, because here it's just like you just not getting along with other people and there could be some trouble. I'm just wondering whether or not, Scorpio, for some of you, it's time for you to branch out on your own. And I say this because we have the Hierophant coming in reversed. And when, the Hierophant is about aligning yourself to a higher institution, whether this is marriage or a corporation. And the fact that I'm feeling like this is around work, and there has been some trouble in the past, be careful, because I just feel like this week it could be exasperated, and if you're not getting along with people, it could get worse this week before it gets better, and sometimes when we see the Three of Pentacles, it's starting to say, maybe I should go on my own. Maybe I should try to see whether or not I can have my own business and do my own thing, because the Hierophant coming in reverse is about not conforming. It is about, you doing things your way and not going along with how everybody else wants to do it. And that could cause trouble if we have to work with other people and we have to do this way, because I just feel like, you have such keen and sharp insight that, you're like, why are we doing this way when we can just do it like this and it'll be fine? So I just feel like, you are really, really sharp this week. You are very intuitive, except when it comes to your emotions. But if you see something's not going to work, especially with the Three of Wands coming in reverse, then, maybe you need to trust yourself and say, I don't want to continue going along with all of you guys, because it's not going to work in the end and I don't feel good about it and I don't want to do it. This could be one of these weeks where you are really challenged to move on your way. And the fact that we have this King of Wands also sitting here on the table, I do feel like it could be a situation like that where everybody's saying, well, we got to do it this way, and here this King's like, sure, we got to do it this way, blah, blah, blah. And he probably knows that there is a better way to do it as well. So trust your intuition this week, because I just feel like the energies can be a little bit, shady. They could be a little trickeries in the air, that kind of thing. So just be careful of that this week, Scorpio, and I think you'll be okay. And listen, like I said, with this guy here, because this is the center of what's going on this week, if you don't want to go with this person because you don't believe that, they're really being honest about their intentions or their motives, please trust yourself, all right? The High Priestess is at the root of what's going on, and you need to believe what your intuition is telling you this week. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Scorpio. Please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. I sure appreciate each and every one of you, and if you, appreciate me, hit that like button, all right? So be happy, be healthy, be kind. I'll see you later. Bye now.